It's another Friday night. It's another episode of the Redox 5. I'm Dr. Maureen Hayes from Galveston, Texas, right now on Kiowa Island in South Carolina outside of Charleston for a family event. So very good. And I'm on my phone, so if I mess things up, that's why. And of course, we have Jim Glenn, one of our regulars from San Antonio. He's our big money man, and his beautiful wife, Ann, is, as you just heard, getting ready for family coming there too, because everybody has been super busy this past week. And of course, we have the amazing Dr. Lee Osler from Washington State, dentist extraordinaire and prolific writer, best-selling writer as far as we're concerned, of a number of different books on redox signaling. Redox Matters is the first one, and that's his website where you can find out more about all of his books and actually see recordings of all of these webinars. And tonight we have some very special guests on because most of you know that we just launched a brand new technology just last week, last Thursday. So a week and a day. It's been absolutely crazy. And this has taken the whole company by storm. And everybody who tries it wants it and wants to know more about it. So, we're doing everything we can to get as much information out to people as possible. The major official launch of the new technology is going to be on February 8th. So be looking for that. The product is called Redox Gold. And I won't go into a lot of detail because I'm going to let our scientists talk about it. And I saw that Dr. Andrea Borges is here. She's our PhD. She runs our science division. She's our lead scientist. And she is overseeing all of these studies on this new technology. And so we're going to have her come on. And I believe Hunter Dean is going to be joining us as well, isn't he, Jim? Or is
he's on. Yeah, he's on.
Oh, he's on. Okay. Oh, Hunter, I didn't see you. So fantastic. Hunter is our VP of production and no longer marketing, but I think you have another hat these days too, Hunter. So these two people are absolutely brilliant. They've been working on this technology for 3 years. It's been in the works. They can kind of give us a little bit more of the background, kind of why it works and how it works and who it's going to work for. Now, for those of us who have had our hands on this product, we're absolutely amazed by it and amazed by some of the stories that are coming out. So hopefully, Jim, I hope you lined up some testimonials. If not, I'm happy to share mine again. They grow every day. So just amazing. And I know you have as well.
Yeah, and Maureen, we also have Jason Butterfield. You can't see all the panelists, but he's the Senior Director of Quality Assurance. So Hunter, why don't you come on and just kind of give us a real quick snapshot of what's been happening. It's been a whirlwind. I mean, Maureen and I, met you guys and quite a few others of extremely excited people this past Thursday, not a week ago Thursday. And I'm still in awe of that gathering of people and people hitting that little sample tube and going nuts. But it's because of Dr. Andrea and Hunter with you, and then the manufacturing facility, Jason with you being, because it's the whole game, the whole thing is absolutely amazing. So Hunter, why don't you kind of take over real quick and share a snapshot of where we are, and we're kind of winging it, guys. We had just want to let you know we had Jerem Webb was scheduled to be on tonight, and Hunter was so gracious to line up Dr. Andrea and Jason. He had a family thing come up that he really could not get out of, so he was profusely apologizing. So he will be with us again soon. So with that, Hunter, go ahead.
Yeah, Jim. Well, it's. I think Dr. Andrea and Jason would agree. It's been a whirlwind these last couple of weeks, getting everything spun up and kind of getting a sneak peek at gold. Dr. Andrea has been working on this project now for over 3 years. She heads up our research and development, kind of partners with the universities all around the world. She does a great job for us. So I thought she'd be a great guest for us here today to talk a little bit about the process going into really researching and developing this product. Jason does a great job down here at the Redox Center as the head of quality, and also works with our production team to produce the product, right? And so kind of the R&D side of things as well as the manufacturing side of things represented here tonight. But that event was probably one of the highest energy events that I've ever been to with ASEA. It was electric in that room. Once people saw the product, once they began experiencing the product, Again, like you said, Jim, we passed out small little sample tubes, one to each attendee. And within 15 minutes, Frank asked, "Hey, who has an experience they'd like to share?" And almost everybody's hands went up. They were all ready to talk about it after the very first try with a small sample tube. So we're really excited about this product. We think it's going to be amazing as a business building opportunity. But really, Jim, where I kind of focus is that there are so many people who need this product. Um, I was on a call with Alan Noble just the other day, and he was talking about he saw a study from the CDC saying that 1 in 4 adults in America experience chronic discomfort. 1 in 4. Uh, you do the math on that, 320 million people in the United States, 25% of that's a big number, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I did a little due diligence or looking into that as well, and I found a number that says half of Americans at some point in time are having muscle discomfort. They're having
Sure.
issues with various areas on their body. The numbers are gigantic.
Yeah, absolutely. So really, when you look at this from a business perspective, and again, we'll talk about the science here, but just Jerem talked about this concept of total addressable market, right? That's the total amount of people that you can sell product to, that you can address and you can reach with a product. That market has never been bigger than with this product, right? To be able to provide an immediate experience, to be able to share Redox, to have a product that really speaks for itself through the experience that it gives, really takes the burden off of trying to share Redox. We understand that it's kind of complicated to talk about, right? This is an emerging field of study. We are the leaders in it. There's not broad institutional and societal understanding behind Redox. And so for a lot of people, that ends up being a speed bump in sharing the products and the technology. Redox Gold does away with all of that. It's something that you can give somebody a rapid experience with, something that everybody needs, and it's something that can lead to further discussions of Redox and the other products and the other solutions that we offer. But as far as the R&D goes, I want to pass it to Dr. Andrea for a little bit, just to kind of get her perspective on the research over these past 3 years, how much focus, how much resource was allocated to this project, and kind of why she's excited about the research and about this product becoming available when it is.
Cool.
Andrea?
Yeah, thank you for the invite. I feel very comfortable talking about this product because we have so much good results, and not only testimonials, but we have research behind it. So as Hunter mentioned, we are doing research on this product about over 3 years. So it all started in Australia with a partnership that we have with Western Sydney University, and they figure out that we have this combination of redox molecules and gold worked very, very well with activation of NRF2, activation of this amazing pathway that will lead to combat harmful stress, things that are not good in our body, by producing proteins that we call antioxidant proteins, that are protective proteins. So from there, funny story, that the first result that they got, they were like, okay, we need to test it again because we're not sure if we do the experiments correctly. Because the number that they got with the activation of the NRF2 was close to their positive control. Positive control is a compound that they use, is a test that they use that will test positive for sure. So our product tested as positive as their positive control. So they like, there must be something wrong with that. Let's test it again. And we're like, okay, but we pay just for this test. We're not going to pay it again. And they're like, no, don't worry, because I think it was our mistake. So we're not charged. And they tested, and guess what? Same results. And they're like, okay, we got the same results. So we just want to double check. We'll ask, because these tests were conducted in kind of the biology department, let's say that. And they're like, okay, let's give the same samples and ask the medical department, another department, the medical school, to test for the same thing. And they did. And guess what? Same results. And then they were like, they reached out to us and they said, okay, yeah, this is it. So here are the results. What do you want to do with that? And then we talked to our partner in Bath, Professor Shara, and what she's specialized in skin. So we started testing this product as a skin product. That would be, and actually we saw amazing results as well. We saw increasing NRF2, increasing glutathione, and more than that, she tested in cells that were compromised, meaning that compromised cells in real life means that these cells are not able to respond to stress, to produce these protective proteins. They are compromised for some reason. And she tested in these cells in vitro, and what she found out was amazing. She found out that when Redox Gold was added to these cells, so these cells, these compromised cells, they were in contact with Redox Gold, they were able to restore the production of these protective cells. So it's not only good for healthy cells, but those compromised cells that are for some reason compromised because of UV, because of any type of problems that these cells can have, they were able to restore the production of these proteins. So, and more than that, when we tested in humans, actually, in our first trial, we realized that the results were really fast, faster than our control, for example.
Andrea, can I pause you for a quick second? Because I want to double click on a few things that you said there before we go to human benefits.
Okay.
You explained this process where the researchers basically said, hey, we screwed up. The result is way too good. We don't believe that this is real.
Right.
Is that accurate?
Yep.
Okay. So after they went and tested it again and confirmed the findings, what was their attitude like? When they were speaking with you, what was their demeanor? What were they saying?
They were saying that they have never seen a product like that or something that would react like that. And they were like, we need to have a product out of this. You need to have a product because this will help so many people.
Are these the same people that tested the ARS and the Renew 3 years ago? Is it the same group of people?
Yes, because that's the thing. While we were doing the Renew and the ARS test, we were also doing the Gold test, but that was like kind of secret, or
we were being sneaky, Jim.
Yeah.
we were being sneaky. We had a whole lot of research going on. We were only talking about part of it.
Okay.
So yeah.
So were they being sneaky, you being sneaky, or you all were being sneaky?
Probably a little bit of both. Probably a little bit of both.
Did they make kind of the discovery or whatever that if you mix this with that you get a lot more, or was it? I mean, how did you respond, Andre, if that was the case? And Hunter, I'll never forget that comment you made with Alan Noble. And by the way, I just want to throw out there that what y'all did last night was phenomenal, and that is available at discoverredox.net. Discoverredox.net, right, Maureen? I think you're shaking your head. Yeah, so that's available, and that was a phenomenal with 5 or 6 amazing testimonials as well. So what was your response, Hunter and Dr. Andrea, when this came out?
Yeah, well, we were.
Yeah, go ahead.
I immediately went into Dr. Andrea's office. I think you remember, Dr. Andrea. I ran into your office as soon as we got the email, and I go, whoa, we've got something here, right? And that was the response that they had given Dr. Andrea, and Dr. Andrea knew exactly what we were working with as soon as she saw the results. So she kind of just nodded and was like, "Yep, here we go." Really, Jim, what happened is because we saw the genetic pathways signaled with the Torrey lab study, NRF2 being one of those pathways that was signaled from those genes, we were doing initial research just on ARS and Renew 28. But then Dr. Andrea and her team kind of started thinking about, well, hey, there's a lot of people that could benefit from increasing the NRF2 expression, right? Let's take a look at how can we focus additional benefit in this place. And that's where kind of this ideation for catalyzing it and adding gold and other metals we tested as catalysts to focus redox potential into specific pathways. And so it was very short after starting the NRF2 research with these university partners that we began duplicating research with additional prototypes, knowing that this was going to be a product in development.
Hunter, just to clarify, I think there was a question, what does ARS mean? So when we say ARS is ASEA Redox supplement, so it's the blue bottle.
Yeah, thanks, Andrea. Okay, so Andrea, they were super excited about it. They were especially Sharia was really excited. We have this amazing results. How did we decide how we were going to test it with thermographic imaging? We knew glutathione, we knew NRF2, we knew it was happening at a cellular and genetic level. How did we decide, okay, this is how we're going to test it in humans?
Yeah, because we tested first in cosmetics, because we thought it could be a good cosmetic for wrinkles, since there are a lot of products out there with gold. And we tested and we figured out that it was not a good cosmetic. So it does not increase hydration. It does not decrease wrinkles. So we were like, okay, so what should we do? And then ASEA had a soccer team, and we decided to test, and for sure they're not like quite, I don't want to say that, but they're not quite good professionals. So they got like a lot of discomfort during and after the game that lasts for a while. So we're like, let's test in this one. We wanted to compare with Renew 28. So they tested, it was a blind test. So the same person, they had like discomfort in both legs, for example. So they got two prototypes. They didn't know what was what, and they used in both legs. And at the end of the study, that's when we realized that the leg or the arm or whatever part of the body that they used felt this kind of discomfort. When they used Redox Gold, the discomfort went away very, very fast. So we correlated that with increase in temperature in the local of the discomfort, because usually when you have certain type of discomfort in your joints or muscle, temperature increases. That's a normal physiological response. And a way to measure if this would go away, this discomfort would go away fast, as they were talking about, was to measure it. And the thermography is one of the methods that we can use to detect temperature on skin. So it's infrared images that are captured from the skin, or it can be used on anything because it detects temperature. And in this case was skin. So we used thermographic images, and they showed us that, yep, the decrease in temperature actually occurred. It happened. It was real.
Right. And representing a decrease in discomfort, right? An
Right.
accelerated in relief and recovery.
Yes.
Andrea, could you help me help us out and kind of talk about the difference between relief and recovery?
Yeah. There are this product, it relieves, but better than that, it also recovers, because recovery is related to actually the pathway that this product is able to activate. NRF2 is related to production of glutathione, and then glutathione is related to recovery. So this is completely related. Oops, sorry. And what happens is that there are products out there that they will relieve, because they're not actually, they will relieve, but they will not recover. And that's the difference between these products out there, that they will mask whatever the discomfort you're feeling, and our product that will relieve and will provide a faster recovery.
Yeah, for sure. One of the things that I really am excited about is that distinction between relief and recovery. When you talk about recovery, Andrea, you did a great job of explaining it, is we're using redox signaling molecules, which are native to the body, right? Mm-hmm. Your body makes this in the mitochondria of your cells every single day. And what you're doing by focusing these redox signaling molecules through gold as a catalyst is you're accelerating those recovery pathways that your body already performs. It just begins to do it at a faster rate. You're using natural recovery pathways to enhance your recovery and also to relieve that discomfort. So we kind of talked a little bit about how the research started. We talked about how excited the researchers were when they saw the results. Talked a little bit about the benefits on the thermographic imaging. Dr. Andrea, talk to us about safety, right? And then I'll go over to Jason here in a little bit. Make sure that we're talking about quality as well, because this is a close tie there. Andrea, talk to us about some of the safety studies that we've done and the standard that we hold ourselves to when we talk about safety of a product.
Okay, so to start with, every single experiment, in vitro experiment, meaning cell culture, that we did, remember that I talked about those 9 experiments in the beginning? Since then, every single experiment, they need to be performed or conducted with a cytotoxicity study at the same time. So they run 2 different experiments. One experiment related to the effectiveness of the product, and the other one related to the safety, because we don't want the cells in culture to die. So we have, related to in vitro tests, we have a high amount, thousands, I don't know, thousands of tests proving that it's safe. It does not, the cell viability is high. It keeps there like if there is anything added to those cells. So it's really, really safe. When we transfer this to humans, what we did, we had patch tests, meaning we get some of the product, the gel that is already produced, ready to be sold, applied to, and this was not conducted by us. It was a third-party lab that did this human trial. So they put the gel on the skin and leave it there for 28 days. And they change the patch with the product constantly, like every other day. So the skin is in constant contact with the product for a month, in fact. And the results that we received was very, very nice results. And we had no complaint, no adverse effect, no sensitivity, no increase in sensitivity. So it's safe. It's totally
Yeah.
safe. No,
And
zero complaint.
I think that's a super important point, Andrea. To launch a topical product, there is a baseline of safety required, and that's a single test, right? One patch test. ASEA has undergone multiple patch tests with different entities. We're currently under review with Dermatest to obtain the Dermatest seal. You'll be seeing that on the second batch of product, on the second batch of packaging there. But we've been testing safety of this product for almost as long as we've been researching it. Over the past 3 years, this product has undergone dozens of safety tests at different stages and at different iterations. And every single one of them, Andrea, is it fair to say, has pointed to that this product is completely safe?
Yes.
Great.
Sorry.
You left us in suspense there off a cliffhanger.
Sorry.
I was like,
I was question.
yeah, so every single test has pointed to the safety of the product.
Yes, it's totally safe.
Thanks, Andrea.
I use in my children that, I mean, they're not kids anymore, but my entire family uses it.
Yeah, let me ask you one more question, and then I want to go over to Jason real quick here. There's this question of accumulation risk of gold in the body. People are really, really sensitive about heavy metal accumulation, metals accumulation, metal toxicity in the body. Is that something that we have to worry about, gold accumulating in the body? Is there a risk of toxicity with gold in this product, Andrea?
No, I don't think so because of the size of the particles that we use. Usually accumulation is due to nanoparticles used, and our products do not contain nanoparticles. The size of the particles are big, let's say that, compared to nanoparticles. So the risk for accumulation is
Next to zero.
Yeah,
right?
And also we apply on skin, and if it happens to stay in the skin, it will stay just for a minute because our skin sheds, and this is a normal process. And when the outermost layer of the skin sheds, if there's any accumulation, it will shed away as well.
Yeah, I think there's maybe a little bit of a misconception in those who are concerned about this bioaccumulation is because we know that redox signaling molecules work through absorption, right? And so they're kind of thinking, okay, redox gold absorption, is my skin absorbing this gold? No, it's acting as a catalyst to focus the redox signaling molecules. It stays on the surface of the skin. Again, you talked about particle size, right? It's too large of a particle size to go into the cell and to have any type of accumulation or risk in that aspect. And that's been consistent with what you and the researchers have seen over the past 3 years as far as the safety testing is concerned. So real quick then, Jason, we've been talking about research and we've been researching for the past 3 years. I know that we at the Redox Center, your team and John's team, John is our director of production. You guys have been busy building out this manufacturing system. Talk about how long have we been working on some sort of manufacturing system. Talk about how long this has been planned for. If we've been researching for 3 years, how long have we been working on scaling gold? And talk about some of the process and some of the testing parameters that we've set for this product.
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, again, my name's Jason and I'm the director of quality. I appreciate you guys having me on, and yeah, this product, super exciting. So yeah, when Andrea's team and Hunter came to us and let us know of, we kind of heard about the product, little bits of it, but like they said, it was pretty secretive, came to us, let us see the product and use it. And yeah, it was amazing. So we spoke with Hunter and we started, planning for the production of this product, which, there's many different parts in the process. Like, I want to say the gold flakes. So a part we had to figure out was when we mix in the gold flakes, making sure it's a homogeneous mix in there, if we mix it for too long, we can destroy those flakes. So yeah, we've been doing this for, geez, Hunter, I can't even remember month wise, but it's been
Probably close to 18 months on scale, right?
yes,
And two
yes.
years on small benchtop.
Yep, 2 years and then 18 months. We've really been spinning up to get this thing at the production level. So we did small pilot runs before in the lab with R&D team and Dr. Andrea, but to scale this up to a manufacturing batch size required a lot of planning, iterations of, we would order fake like fool's gold and stuff to start just because gold's super expensive, as we all know. So we're ordering fool's gold and that to just try to get this mix right. The main thing is we need to make sure this is a homogeneous mix, which is meaning that any part of that batch, we're filling these in like 400-gallon tanks. We're mixing this product. So yeah, we just need to make sure the efficacy of any part of that product is there anywhere in that tank. It then goes to a tube machine where we tube it. We pull those samples and we test it.
How often do we pull samples, Jason, on a time increment?
So on a time increment, we're looking every 15 minutes, we're pulling, we're weighing, we're doing organoleptics. We at multiple stages during the manufacturing, we're pulling, and we have internal labs. I don't know if any of you have had the opportunity to come and do some tours in our facility, but if you haven't, I highly recommend just to see it. And we have a couple internal labs, which is awesome because we can pull samples. Our quality technicians that are on the line doing all these tests every 15 minutes, pulling hourly to send to the lab for testing. We're testing viscosity, all our active stuff like that. And once the product is finished, we are sending it out. We do send it out to third-party ISO certified labs every once in a while just for verification of our own. So we're checking ourselves, just making sure everything's right. Because, yeah, we're just ensuring the quality of this product. So like Hunter says, when the ingredients come in, quality will pull those ingredients like the gold, and we'll test that for purity because we need to make sure this is the gold that we need. So purification. So we're looking at the specifications, but yeah, it took a long time to get to this point of just. And what's funny, like we've talked, the product is so amazing. Like in quality, we take the so it's called organoleptics. If depending on like this is a cosmetic, so it's our techs will have to rub it on themselves to make sure the viscosity that it's like that it's not leaving any greasy residue or anything. But such amazing results of just testing on ourselves that Hunter, we began talking with Hunter like, hey, we need to scale this up. This is big. Like our team, we're getting instant results. They're talking, everybody's wanting to try this. So once it goes out, it's going to be big. So yeah, working a lot with Hunter, our maintenance teams, and just building to scale. So we're on our ninth lot already, ninth batch, and this thing hasn't even launched. The one smaller event we had the other day, it's just went crazy. So yeah, we are super excited to see what you guys can do with this product. And sorry, I kind of went off there, but
How many tubes per batch? And I guess a lot of the field was going, is there any chance we're going to run out of this stuff on February the 8th?
yeah, nope. We can do 7,500 tubes per batch. So, and
How long does the batch take?
we can mix a whole batch in about 3 to 4 hours is
Oh,
when
wow.
we get
Okay.
a whole batch made. So we can do yeah, we could scale up. We have the equipment, tanks, pumps, everything to, increase our production size. We could do 6 lots a week if we had to batches.
Well, and keep in mind too, Jim, uh, we run 4 10-hour shifts.
Yeah.
So if we need to go on Fridays, if we need to open a night shift, if we need to, there's a whole lot of capacity and firepower here at the Redox Center that is untapped because we don't run 24 hours a day. We're able to hit capacity in 4 10-hour shifts. So we're not going to run out of this stuff. We can make as much of it as we need to. Jason, you hit on a couple of important things there that I want to break down real quick, if it's okay with everybody. You talked about kind of stages of the process a little bit. You kind of alluded to it, where we're testing product, but even before we get to the product phase, you are taking in raw ingredients and you're testing those individual ingredients. Once they're qualified, they go to production. After production, they go to the warehouse where they have to be tested by quality before that they can leave our doors. Right. So let's break those 3 segments into just for a little discussion here. When you're looking at ingredient sets, how much testing goes into our raw materials?
There's quite a bit going into our raw materials. So every time we receive raw materials, depending if it's one lot or a couple lots of these raw materials, which are ingredients, we are testing for multiple things. We have specifications that we've built, and what that means is that's our what we require of that product. So, for instance, purity. We have a purity specification, so we're testing for purity on every ingredient we receive in the door. So we know that product is the product we've ordered, the ingredient we've ordered, and it's a very high quality and caliber of what we expect from our suppliers.
So we test the ingredients before we even use them. We're not leaving any guesswork with our ingredient set. We then move to before the production even starts. Talk about, Jason, what do you do with your team to certify that the equipment is in working order and everything that goes in with the EPSU crew?
Yeah. So yeah, we have an EPSU crew, which is a cleaning crew. So yeah, on all equipment, tanks, pumps, everything, we clean. The EPSU crew will go in and clean it, and we clean it with food grade cleaners. Everything is food grade. After they have cleaned the equipment, the pumps, the tanks, we have ATP swabs in-house. And what those swabs are doing is we can swab and make sure there's no microorganisms on any of the equipment or the tanks. Any touches the product's going to make with any of the equipment, we swab, we can get results within minutes, and then quality will either pass that equipment off and the room to say, okay, this is good. We can move forward and start production. If it fails, which we never have fails, but if it does, what we would have to do then is do another deep clean and then retest. So we test every time. So say we run a batch of this gold in these tanks and equipment. It's the equipment is taken apart. Each part of the equipment is cleaned, tanks, everything, and it's all swabbed to make sure it's does not have any microorganisms.
You guys, the ATP swab you can think about it as the clinical version of the white glove test, right? Our equipment has to pass the white glove test in between every single batch that we manufacture.
Yeah.
And the quality team under Jason does a great job of making sure that that equipment is maintained and cleaned to an extremely high standard every single day. So now we've tested our ingredients. We've certified that the process is ready to go. The product is made. You've already talked about sampling the product every 15 minutes while we're making the product. Then after the product's made and packaged and it's stored in the warehouse, what do we have to do from a quality side before we can even ship that out the door?
Yep. So once that product is packaged and in the warehouse, the finished good will grab beginning, middle, and end sample of that entire batch run. It goes into our lab. But at that time, when it's moved, it's put on a quality hold. So this product cannot ship, it cannot go anywhere until we receive testing results. Once quality receives testing results that everything looks good, and we're testing, to make sure, again, the micros, the heavy metals, making sure there's no contaminants or anything in it. Once it passes, we receive C of A's. We then go into the system and we quality release that product. So once that product has been quality released, we know it's safe. The safety of that product is there, and then we can distribute that to any of our distribution centers.
Hey, real
And
quick,
Jason,
Hunter.
yeah.
Hey, real quick. This is the exact same process that goes on for everything that we make in that facility, correct?
Correct.
So this is okay. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. So Jason, it's not just internal testing though, is it?
No, nope. We send it out to third-party labs as well. So we send it to ISO certified labs, and so we'll wait for their results and our own results before we send it. So we have, it's done by a third party as well.
This is an unfair question, but I'm going to put you on the spot, Jason. I don't think any of us know the number because it's so large. But if you had to guess the number of individual tests conducted internally and by third party per week, what would that number be?
Per week. Oh my gosh, that's a hard one. So
Is
we're
it hundreds? Is it thousands?
I would say it's thousands. It's for sure in the thousands. Yeah. Yes, it's a lot, a lot. And we document all this as well. So everything we're doing, we're not just we're documenting. We're everything's put in a batch record. So every batch we produce, we have a record of exactly where those test results are, what's going on in that batch at every second through the batch. So if we ever have an issue or a complaint, we can pull a batch record and go back and look, hey, did something go wrong here? Or just whatever. And so, yeah, we document everything.
We even go so far, Jason, to know who batched it.
Yep.
And we could even go so far to tell you the temperature of the building the day that was made.
Correct. Yep. We do environmental testing as well. So we test the air. Yep. We're testing everything. And like Hunter said, batch techs, quality techs, anybody that's and to Jim's point, like this is all our products, the ASEA Redox supplement, the Renew 28, everybody has to, and we do double verifications on everything when we're doing changeovers, weighing out of ingredients. They have to initial and date. So like Hunter says, we know right down to the time, the temperature of the room, the person that was involved in the process at that time.
So you guys, I know that this is kind of, it seems really granular and technical, but I really wanted to take an opportunity to illustrate that Redox Gold being the next generation of Redox, ASEA could not afford to cut any corners.
No.
This was all done above and beyond standard for the past 3 years. We've done nothing but the highest practices on R&D, product development, manufacturing, bringing it to scale, implementing SOPs, certifying equipment, making sure that our testing is up to snuff. In fact, Jason, we even have SOPs on how to write SOPs.
Yes.
So you guys, this is an amazing product. The amount of work that has gone into this on every aspect of it over the last 3 years has been really a labor of love, a labor of really commitment to Redox. But I hope this helps to kind of give an illustration of all of the details that go into launching a new Redox product, much less a next generation product with so much R&D and firepower behind it.
Maureen and Lee, can you guys pop in real quick and just kind of share with what they just said? It's kind of overwhelming, but what are your thoughts about what these three gentlemen, ladies just shared? Maureen, can you unmute? She doesn't know how to unmute. Lee, go ahead.
Oh, I got it. Did I get it?
There you go. There you go. Yeah, you got it.
Hey, this product is absolutely amazing. It's interesting because as a pain physician, treating people's discomfort for decades, it is so amazing and mind-blowing to me to have something like this that works this quickly. And I need to kind of do a deep dive. Nobody else needs to, but just me personally, sorry, because I need to understand how this is working. You know, I know it's the NRF2 pathways and anti-inflammatory and cytoprotective proteins and things like that. But discomfort is very complicated, and yet you just rub this on, and a few minutes later, things start feeling great. It's just unbelievable. Some of the stories that we're hearing, and they're pouring in, are just wonderful. You know, people are in tears over this. People who have, you know, had chronic discomfort. So this is huge. If you guys don't mind my asking, though, a couple of things. We're all used to the Renew 28. With this product, do we need to shake it to keep the viscosity intact? And also, what is the shelf life of the product?
Yeah, I can tackle that one. I tend to shake everything that I have as a topical. I would recommend that you do shake the product. It's not going to separate as quickly as Renew 28 because those of you who have had the product notice it's a little bit thicker, a little more viscous. So you won't have quite the separation that you see with Renew 28, but it's still a good idea to shake it up and before you squeeze it out of the tube. As far as the stability goes, 21 months.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. And will it be affected by any extremes in temperature?
Nope. Stability shows that the solution is stable across all normal temperature ranges that it would experience.
Excellent. Thank you.
If it does freeze, do you let it unthaw just at room temperature, or is that? I see Jason up there shaking his head.
Yeah. So real quickly, I'll say, so we put these through all sorts of environments. So yeah, we've frozen the product. We put it at super high humidity and temperatures. But to answer your question, yes, just set it at room temperature and let it thaw out. And that goes with any of the product, even the ARS. We've frozen it, whatever. But if you leave it on your porch, you forget to get it, it's froze. Just bring it inside, let it thaw, and it's good.
I want to say something to that real quick because we had someone that had a frozen box. They brought it inside. They let it sit for a while. And then when it sweated, when it unthawed, it looked like it was leaking, but it was not. It was just the moisture from it being froze. So they kind of got confused that, oh my gosh, it was leaking. There's no chance that bottle can leak, correct? Or the tube?
Correct. Yep. It will not leak. You're right. It is sweating. So that material shrink sleeve can absorb some moisture. And then when it thaws it, you will see it sweat out a little of that.
Okay. Maureen, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, I was just saying condensation. Is that what we're talking about?
Correct. Yep.
Yep.
Well,
You got anything else, Maureen?
no, I just want to thank you guys for this product. I mean, just in the week that we've had it to share with other people, it's just amazing. So thank you for everything you've done.
Hey, I want to bring up one thing. Lee, go ahead, then I'll bring up my point after you, Dr. Osler. I want you to make sure you ask any questions to these folks.
Well, I have 101 questions, and we'll eventually get to all of those, I'm sure. As everybody here knows, I'm kind of that way. That's the way my brain.
We have to schedule private sessions with Dr. Osler to make sure we get all of his questions answered.
Now, just make sure you don't run into Danny Doyle's time. Danny's going to be on in about 9 minutes, so you only got a few more minutes there, Dr. Osler.
No, that won't happen here at this point. I just would make the comment that, I go back to what Dr. Andrea was talking about earlier, the initial research that was done where they got results that they really weren't expecting. And then they went back and double and tripled down to, verify and take it to the next step. That's just that's how research works. You find out something, the science is never settled. When they say trust the science, it's never settled. Science is about not knowing the answer. And so when you find out what works and then you refine it and then you narrow it down and you go, now we understand that. That's kind of where we're at with this. And so, there's a lot of things that we're going to be learning, but, there is a significant amount of crosstalk that happens in our cells from various pathways when things work well. And that's that's how the body works. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. One of the things I so appreciate, all this quality assurance stuff, I just take it for granted because it's ASEA. I know that they're not going to pull the rug out from underneath us, in that regard. But the fun part is that as the science goes forward and we discover that doggone it, this works because this is how the body's wired. Our cells, the redox cell biology, there's nothing out there that works more compatibly and more directly with how human redox cell biology functions. And that's why we're seeing these results. It's not by accident or mistake. So again, my hat is tipped to all of you researchers and scientists, and even those that are not a part of ASEA, who are brought in from the outside. We're witnessing all of the good fruit that comes from that collaboration. So thank you.
And I've got a general question for all of you. We're talking about muscle discomfort and things of that nature because of the glutathione boost in a healthy cell, correct?
Yes.
Right. And the test that showed with the Renew 28, it was it was 40% in a healthy cell, correct? With Renew?
Correct. And
right.
55 in compromised cells.
And a gargantuan jump in compromised cells with gold.
280%. 280%.
Okay.
That's
kind of that. Okay. But here's my question. Can we not use this as a proactive approach? I mean, I work with Rose Monday, the Olympic coach. So, and I'm an ex-athlete. So I would worry about my ankles or my knees or things of that nature. Could you not use this as a proactive to not have an issue instead of just waiting till you have a problem? Why not use it to keep that joint or that area healthier? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, you're going to see all sorts of athletes adopting that as a protocol, right? When you're working out, you're stressing the body. You have to recover, right? So it's a great proactive product. I use it before I go to the gym. I use it before I work out, before I hike, before I do anything for that reason, right? Proactivity is a great thing when you're talking about enhancing your cell's ability to recover. And so that's great point.
Okay.
We test ourselves actually. Thais, she is a co-worker here, and she also is part of the science team. Thais and we went training with Henry, and we used in one leg before the training. We used in one leg and not in the other one. And yeah, we were able to walk only with one leg afterwards. The other one was like dead, especially with Harry. And we're like, okay, let's keep you. So we can use before training, especially if you know which part of the body you're going to train at that day. It's very useful.
But if you've had
to recover faster.
But if you've had an old injury or you just want to, like I played basketball, so you'd want to protect your ankles and knees, so you want to be proactive. My daughter played professional volleyball. So there's certain joints that you want to use to protect. Hey, Maureen, real quick, couple of minutes. Tell us your what happened to you, girl, with this stuff.
Sure. I've got a number of different things, but early on, you probably have all heard this by now. I had arthritis in 2 fingers. I don't know if you can see them. I had surgery on my hand about 6 years ago.
Just don't show the one that had surgery, okay, Maureen?
It's not gross. It's all healed.
No, never mind. That was an inside joke. It was the middle finger. Don't show us that one. Okay. I told you not to do it, and you go and do it.
It takes me a minute. What's so cool is with Renew, I had perfect function in my hands. I didn't lose any mobility whatsoever. But the fingers were always very swollen, and the joints were very large. And you could look at my hand and see that there was something wrong with it. It also had sort of a sensation that I would have to, it was so bad I would have to hold my fingers to make it go away. And it wasn't because of use or anything. It would just sort of come on and I would have to hold them. I used that gel and it immediately took that discomfort away. And with continued use, y'all, my knuckles are almost down to normal. I mean, I forget to put it on because it doesn't have discomfort anymore. My hip. I had a hip replaced on the left last year, and the surgeon said, "You will be back from my X-rays. You will be back soon." And I remember talking to Andrea about it. I wasn't using enough, y'all. I didn't think it was working on my hip. And here's one caveat: you've got to put it not just where you're feeling the pain, but where the pain is originating from. That's been my experience. So with my hip, I had to put it on the back, the side, the front, down into the groin, down my leg, and over my knee where I was experiencing the discomfort. When I did that, it took that sensation away. And one day it was so bad I couldn't bear weight on that leg. I found the one that they had sent me while I was on the medical board. I thought it was empty. I cut it open. It was just like the Renew 28. The royal jelly was on the inside. I applied it twice to that entire area. It took it from a 9.5 out of 10 to a 3. I applied it a third time. It went to 0, stayed there for over 36 hours. And when it came back, it did not come back as intense, and I was able to take care of it very quickly. I have found that the more I use it, the better it works and the longer it lasts. Now, if I continue to do things that irritate it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're muted. You muted yourself, Maureen. Maureen, you're muted. Okay, you're back. Yeah, you're back.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I did that. Anyway, and here's something really interesting. I've been traveling a lot, and I woke up the other morning with a severely sore throat, inflamed tonsil, inflamed enlarged lymph nodes on the side of my neck, and I was like, great. I took the gel. I had no expectation at all. I put it under my jawline here, down my neck. In 10 minutes, totally gone. Didn't have a problem with it again. So y'all, I've been seeing in the chat people saying, will it work for this? Will it work for that? Try it. It's non-toxic. Let us know. We want to hear your stories.
Yeah, and I want to have you guys back because I want to go over. We didn't have a chance to do that, Hunter, where we talk about the blue bottle, the white tube, then you got the serum, and then you've got the clay mask, and you've got the now the gold. So we don't have time to do that now. But I had an aha moment earlier today talking with some folks at a coffee meeting that we have, and you all know Donalyn Dominguez. I think a few of you know who she is. And she was very sweet. She wasn't as ugly as what she says she was, and she's not on, so I can say whatever I want. She had a significant health issue, and she didn't like the taste of the drink. And so she waited 7 or 8 months. Now, guys, the power of what we now have, and I talked to her about this, is if she would have had the gold, she would have felt it immediately. She would have had the aha moment, not in 7 or 8 months, but she would have had it immediately, and she would have gotten on the blue bottle a lot quicker. So this is really, guys, we have an absolute divine gift. Dr. Andrea and Hunter and Jason, thank you so much. But what we've got is, I think it's going to really just blow up. But people are going to be out. They have to learn too about the Redox, the blue bottle, right, Hunter? But with having that experience a lot quicker, they're going to be more open-minded to learning about the other stuff. I guess that's what I was trying to say. Hunter, wrap it up real quick before Danny Doyle's on, so he's going to threaten to kill me.
Well, Dan, hi, I see you're joining us. Real quick.
Come on, Dolly.
I agree 100% with you. I couldn't say it any better. It is difficult at times to try and get people to stay on the ASEA Redox supplement for 90 days. That challenge is gone. Being able to give somebody an immediate experience with Redox Gold is going to change the way we share this technology with people. It is the next generation of Redox, and I've discussed already, but this is the next generation of ASEA, with the next generation of Redox being the foundation of that next generation of ASEA. We are so excited about it. You guys hold on just a little while longer while we finish prepping. February is going to be an amazing month. Make sure you get your hands on it and go share it with somebody who needs it. It's going to be life-changing.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much. Next week, Maureen and myself and others will be in Dallas with Terry Latham and a lot of folks doing a big regional meeting up there on Saturday, again in the DFW area. So we will not be present, but Dr. Lee Osler, Dr. Dick Walker, and Dr. Ray Dixon will be your host next Friday evening. And then the week after that, we got something very, very exciting lined up with you. So with that, guys, thank you so much. And stick around. Like I've said, Danny Doyle is one of the most amazing. He's had a life-changing experience, but he didn't waste it. He then took it to the next level, and he's now sharing this all over the world. So stick around, listen to Doyle, and he's amazing. So, guys, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. This recording will be up at redoxmatters.com. In about an hour, hour and a half or so. And that's where all the past recordings are. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording.